Welcome into a special edition of the Sunbelt Syndicate. Dominick Crosetto TJ O'Sullivan and Mike Yuva, the Associate Athletic Director of Communications and Media. That's not a mouthful at all. I don't know how that fits on a placard. Do you have like a door with that full name on it for you?
No, I'll tell you what, and we were talking about this being in the sportscasting world, sports reporter, weekend ink, whatever the case may be. I have to remind myself and go back and be like, all right, how does this all lay out? Because I've only been on the job for a month and a half, so I'm still learning how to say it. So look at you, you got it now, you got it right.
I read it a couple times before we started to set this up, but yeah, I mean, very excited to have you. First of all, I just from following the account and seeing what you've done so far, the youthfulness that you bring to a position that sometimes over past years, hasn't been that way, not necessarily at Coastal Carolina, but just across the board in college athletics. It looks like the youth movement has begun and it's here to stay, which makes total sense because we need that social media aspect to hit with the younger generation. And you guys are nailing that aspect for Coastal Carolina. You have a massive game coming up on Thursday night as Marshall comes to town. Can you tell us a little bit about what may go on and transpire maybe all day Thursday, but certainly Thursday night for the game itself?
Yeah, certainly Thursday night's going to be a big one, not only for our football program, but for the university as a whole. Tremendous opportunity to showcase what Teal Nation and the university is all about on national television with ESPN2. And I think it's tremendous, certainly not just for Coastal Carolina, but what you see throughout the Sunbelt Conference, especially at this time of the year, whether it be Tuesday games, whether it be Thursday, which we've seen over the last couple of weeks, but certainly it starts to pick up now. And just Group 5 schools as a whole, I think it's awesome because, as we know, there is just so much talent in the Group 5 level, and I think people overlook that. And certainly for someone that has covered the SEC for 11 years before I took this position, I can tell you that I've seen the guys who have transferred on and played in bigger schools. I've seen just how talented they are, and it made me say, okay, I want to watch what's going on a Tuesday night. I want to know what's going on a Thursday night. So the last couple of years, I've been following from afar, especially the Sunbelt Conference, and seeing the talent. So to be doing what I'm doing now and seeing it firsthand, especially at Coastal Carolina University, there is just so much talent there, and certainly going up against a very good Marshall team. They've been phenomenal, especially in the offensive side of the ball the last couple of weeks. It's going to be a fun one. It's going to be a fun one, and I hope for the people that have all these stigmas about Group 5 football, I hope they tune in on Thursday night, because not only from a talent standpoint for both teams, it's going to be tremendous, but we have a lot of fun things planned over at Brooks Stadium. There's no doubt about it.
Well, and kind of along that vein, Dom, if you want to pull up that tweet really quick, I see that floating around down there. You sent out a tweet, and it has a whole bunch of really cool stuff on the agenda. Nationally televised game. Second place in the Sun Belt, talking about Coastal Carolina, free concessions, medieval times halftime show, and more. Can you tease anything in terms of what's going to go on Thursday night?
I'll tell you what, I'm getting excited, and just for the record, this is sweet tea, all right? But I have a feeling that there's going to be a lot of people drinking something that looks like this at the game on Thursday night, and it's not going to be sweet tea. But I can say this. The Medieval Times halftime show. If anyone's been to the Conway area, I know that there are similar restaurants throughout the country. You have the medieval battles. There's going to be a halftime show featuring that. Now, I don't want to give all the details away. I know that on Monday night they were rehearsing it through the rain. It's been raining over here in Conway, but they're getting not only their battle script ready, but on top of that, our guys from a camera standpoint, making sure that we deliver and show you guys a tremendous storyline. So again, that's going to be one of the fun things, because it's Halloween Eve. And for those who don't know, Conway is the city of Halloween, which for someone like myself, I grew up right next to Salem, Massachusetts. So I'm just like, what is this all about? Well, I can tell you from our coaches show that we do each week with our head coach, Tim Beck, I drive down to down Conway. I'm sure TJ can tell you this from his time when he went to Coastal. It is just Halloween decorations galore. I'll have to pass them along to you guys. I mean, you have, whether it be like Hulk Hogan picking up Andre the Giant, and they're just skeletons. I mean, it's incredible. You got the a scene from Friday, and they're just like, damn, and then, they're just in skeleton mode. I mean, it's awesome. You got Forrest Gump and Lieutenant Dan in his wheelchair. I mean, it's pretty cool. It's really cool, and just everything else in between. We're going to be bringing a portion of that over to the stadium. There's going to be decorations that are 15 feet tall. I mean, this is going to be an absolute party, and it's everything that you would think of when you think about Myrtle Beach and the Conway area, right? So certainly, if people had no idea about Conway being the city of Halloween, I had a conversation with one of the reporters today who'll be doing our broadcast on Thursday night and just explaining some of this. It's going to be on full display. It's going to be on full display. So the Conway people, the people that understand how important October, not just Halloween, is to that city and this part of the country, they're going to be very excited because that is certainly going to be on full display on Thursday night.
Well, I can tell you, I know, Dom, I don't think you've been there for Halloween, but I am glad, Mike, that you got a chance to be there for Halloween. I mean, it is just an incredible city to be in on October 31st. Kind of on that same line, like you said, you've had this job for a month and a half and you're getting to experience Halloween, but just in general, like the Conway area, how has it embraced you? What do you like about it? Like, tell us your experience being in the Conway area, Myrtle Beach area.
Yeah, so real quick, as a guy who grew up in the Boston area, my first TV job was in Greenville, Mississippi in 2015. And then I came on over to Columbia, South Carolina, did sports casting there, hopped around, went up to Boston, Patriots pre and post game show. So I've kind of been all over the area when it comes to just being on the East Coast side, but coming into the Southeast region as well. And I bring that up because even though I lived in Columbia off and on for about a decade, I only came out to the Conway Myrtle Beach area once. My head coach for the first 3 years, Corey Bailey, he was an assistant coach under Joe Moglia for a while. And I remember coming down and visiting him when I got the TV job in Columbia. And I came out in 2016. And it's incredible to look at that photo now because you don't have the cabanas in one side of the stadium. And then behind that, you just see all woods, which, of course, now on the other side of the street is the indoor facility. It's the ops building, right? So the practice facility. So I bring that up because it's been pretty cool to see what's been going on campus, but at the same time, too, just checking out the area, Murrell's Inlet, and I'm just like, as much as I love Columbia, as much as I love the Midlands, and I enjoy everything that I got to experience over there, I'm kicking myself. I'm like, why the heck did I not come out to this area? Why did I not visit it more?
There's plenty of trouble to get into.
Oh, well, I think that's the good thing. I mean, young Mike, maybe 10 years ago, maybe not the place for me to come out to. Engaged Mike, maybe a better time for me to come out here. So maybe it worked out perfect. But all jokes aside, I mean, the people have been awesome. It's really neat because I think that some people who understand the state of South Carolina when it comes to a rivalry standpoint, the thing that you hear the most is you're either pulling for the Gamecocks or pulling for Clemson. And even though I do think that's still true when you come out towards this area, I think what gets overlooked is how passionate people are about Coastal Carolina. And certainly when you go back to what David Bennett did, and obviously Joe Moglia, right? And you've seen everything, Jamie Chadwell, and just the success that they've been able to build, and Tim Beck's trying to continue that, you understand that. And football has not been around here very long. We're talking about just over, 2 decades, for crying out loud. So you look at that from a football standpoint, this program, it's still a baby. I mean, it's just barely able to have a beer if it was a kid, So the point is, it's the fact that you have so many people so passionate about this football program just goes to show you that, yes, even in a state that is divided, Clemson or Gamecock, you can still have people care about some of the smaller programs. And that's, I think, one thing that I would tell people if they've never been to a Coastal game or a Group 5 game, you go into some of these states that do have big programs. I get it. I understand, right? You go to South Carolina, you go to Clemson, I understand there's going to be 77,000, 80,000. I get that. But when you go to some of these stadiums, like we've been able to set 2 records this year, or 2 of the top 3 for attendance in program history. These first, like I said, 2 of the home games this year. So it's incredible to just see the turnout and the passion because it's there. Never mind the other sports. Certainly baseball speaks for itself, but I think it's very special and it's been very unique to be able to watch it firsthand.
Yeah,
Yeah,
speaking of the football and going back to that specifically, first of all, you played, so you also know what you're talking about when you're looking at these guys and seeing what's going on the field. We had a recent rivalry game, right? You guys took the field in Boone. You've had a lot of success against that program recently. You talk about the excitement that can exist at this level of football. And to me, it's because of rivalries that exist like that. Like you said, young program coming up, trying to take down the established one. What does it mean for Coastal, for the fan base to go up to Boone numerous times now and come away with the victory and start to continue to prove themselves as a player, not only in the Sun Belt, but nationally on the football program?
Well, I think anytime you're able to do something once or twice, some people might look at it and say, all right, is that a fluke? Or are you going to be able to do that consistently? And it's not even just the fact of obviously going into a place like Boone and obviously what App State football has done. Obviously during their time in FCS and being able to move up to FBS. I mean, that's a name that I think people who might not follow Group 5 football, they know who App State is, right? So to be able to do that consistently and to be able to win twice there, certainly that's something that our program is very proud of. There's no question about it. I think more than anything is just being able to do, like I said, the fact that whether it be App, whether it be any school for that matter, to do it consistently. I mean, like I was talking to you guys about covering South Carolina for as many years as I did. Kentucky was always that thorn in the backside of the Gamecocks. Well, they've beat Kentucky now the last 4 years, right? And you don't hear that anymore about Kentucky. So it's not to say that that won't be the case when it comes to playing App next season. Certainly it's two programs as the passionate programs who, from a rivalry standpoint, it's everything that's right when it comes to not just college football, but college athletics, where there's passion. And that's what you want to see. And I think from a entertainment standpoint, certainly a couple weeks ago going to Boone, that was my first time going up there. It was tremendous, incredible football atmosphere. I mean, just being able to see two teams just battle the way they did. I mean, it was a phenomenal game. But to just see, again, two teams that have that much passion, it's special. And I think that's what makes football so special, regardless of the level. But again, another example of why Group 5 football should not be overlooked.
There's another reason why Coastal Carolina in particular, especially football, is special this particular year. And it has to do with some of the game day experience. Free concessions. And that took the entire nation by storm ahead of week one and made ESPN, made Barstool, made a ton of different outlets as a national story. Front Office Sports did a piece on you guys. Can you're a little closer to everything and you have the numbers. Now we're about halfway through the season. Can you tell us how that strategy has impacted not only fan experience, but maybe revenue and just overall state of the program?
Yeah, so from a revenue standpoint, I might not be able to necessarily disclose those numbers quite at this time, but what I can share is that there's no question that it's made a big impact on our program and on the university as a whole, because as we all know, it's like, all right, the concessions are only 1% of what you're able to gather. But when you're talking about the extra revenue that comes in, whether it be from ticket sales, whether it be from, alcohol that's sold now in the stadiums, which is crazy to think of in comparison to, say, just even a couple of years ago, not just at Coastal Carolina, but Clemson, South Carolina, and a lot of colleges in the Southeast. Now it's like, wait a minute, well, we can sell alcohol now. So that certainly changes the game as well. The thing that some people might not be aware of is Chance Miller, our athletic director at Coastal Carolina. When he was the associate AD at South Carolina, he started something that was very similar during basketball season. It was in December. It was a few years ago. I'm sure there's stories still all over the internet about it. And one thing that he did for men's basketball during December, because that's usually a month where you got the students going home and attendance just usually isn't that great. Well, what did he do? He implemented this, and they saw an uptick in not just the attendance, but also being able to generate some extra dollars for, basketball program. So I bring that up because he's done this before. One of the reasons why I wanted to be able to work for Coastal Carolina is because he reached out, and he's someone that I truly believe in. I'm not just saying this because I work for the guy now. I saw what he did firsthand at South Carolina and the things that he did even as an associate AD, because he was very hands-on in his role, and he had tremendous opportunities to be able to do more than most associate ADs do in their role. So I think being able to have that experience, being able to bring it to Coastal, and now being the guy that doesn't necessarily have to worry about, okay, I got to worry about what this guy. No, he is the AD. He can make those decisions. I mean, there's a tremendous support staff around him. I get to be in those meetings with him. I'm very fortunate. We have a tremendous team. And obviously, this was put in place well before I arrived. But it doesn't surprise me that it's had the success that it's had, because he's done this before in the past. But now he's been able to really turn it into his baby, because he is the AD, and you've been able to see it. Again, the attendance has been incredible. Obviously, that ULM game, even with the rain, there was a lot of people that were just rowdy, crazy. That's why we're looking forward to seeing what can happen Thursday night against Marshall. And I'll say this: the medieval times part, that's only part of it. There is something very big planned that I think is going to go viral on Thursday night. I know that is like dangling the carrot in front of everyone's face, but I promise you, you will want to tune in Thursday night. I promise you, you will want to tune in Thursday night.
I just want to say that I'm disappointed, and it's not in you, and it's not in Coastal Carolina.
My fiance says that to me all the time. I'm used to hearing that. That's fine.
I'm disappointed because I am about equal distance here in Chapel Hill from Boone as I am to Coastal, and I've done both weekday ventures down and back in one night, so I can get back to work. I wanted so badly to be at this one before all these announcements were made, honestly. But I also coach my son's hockey team, and they're doing the Halloween practice that night, and I'm like, I can't miss that.
We have a hockey guy in the South, a fellow hockey guy. This is phenomenal.
Yeah.
I'm loving this.
Yeah.
This is good, Dom. All right.
Yeah, we'll have to get you up to a Canes game, man. It'll be my treat if you get up here.
Again, things were going well. You mentioned the Canes. I'm a Bruins guy, but you know what? Everyone has their flaws, but that's
it's
all right.
true. It's true.
Hey, he's an App State guy too. He's, can't
win them all. Can't win them all. But no, yeah. I mean, now I've seen the roster. It's like, it's killing me even more that I can't get out there and check that out, because I've seen the stuff with home field also going to be in town with, I believe, some type of live show during the day, if I'm not mistaken. Do you know more details about that?
They're going to be coming in, and they're going to be doing two different setups. I know on game day, and some of the things that have been going on right now, because of the weather, we think Thursday should be good. But I don't really want to start pushing, because I know what's going to happen. As soon as I do that, we're going to get a ULM 2.0, and it's just going to be an absolute downpour. So I'm going to just try to be, I'm going to try to bite my tongue on this a little bit and just hope that we get closer so that these things do happen. But there are a lot of things planned. That home field is one of them. If you go over to their Twitter page, they have I think it's the pinned tweet. And again, that's not to say that I don't want to share this. It's just that I know how these things are happening. We have a lot of things planned, or some things that are planned to take place on Tuesday, waiting to see how things turn out with Mother Nature. As of this moment, as we're recording this on Monday night, might not happen, but fingers crossed that turns around, because we'd love to be able to do our Nightmare on Elm Street, and there's a lot of fun things planned with that, kind of like a combination of Midnight Madness for basketball. But on top of that, Tim Beck, he's going to be doing his radio show a little bit earlier in comparison to what he does typically during the season at 7:00. So fingers crossed, a lot of things planned leading up to not just the game itself, but just the Tuesday. I mean, there's a lot, and it's been a lot of work, I can tell you that. But it's certainly going to be a lot of fun to just see, hopefully, the majority of this stuff turn out. And again, certainly on Thursday night, even if Mother Nature dampers some of these things earlier in the week.
Yeah, sounds like it's been a ton of work, but with your excitement, I mean, if that's not just the stamp of approval for you to tune into this game on Thursday night, I don't know what is. Mike Yuva is incredibly excited about it. Check it out, 7:30 p.m. on ESPN2, Coastal Carolina hosting Marshall. But now we got to switch gears a little bit, because we did have another big story coming out of Conway, and it has to do with the baseball program. Head coach Kevin Schnall, he is going to be with Coastal through the 2030 season. Some whispers about some other teams interviewing him for head coaches jobs, but like, what can you tell us, like, in terms of him sticking around at Coastal and the success that he's had in year one, and he's been with the program for as long as he's been, Gilly's right-hand man for as long as he's been in Conway. What can you tell us about the impact that has on the culture of the baseball program? Like, he's sticking with you guys.
I mean, this man truly loves Coastal through and through. I mean, it goes without saying. The guy, for the last 25 years of coaching, he's been coaching at Coastal Carolina for 22 of them. I mean, I think that says everything, right? Or certainly it shows a lot. Look, when you have success, especially at this level, when you're a Group 5, even though Coastal has certainly turned into a powerhouse. I mean, the conference itself is one thing, but when you're able to win a national championship less than 10 years ago, you're able to go back to a College World Series in Omaha this past year, I think people look at you a little differently. And that's no disrespect to the other teams in the sunbelt or other Group 5 programs, but certainly, I mean, let's call it for what it is. In this era, when you're talking about rev share, it's even harder now. So the fact that they were able to do that last season, and I say they because I haven't gone through a baseball season with them yet, and I feel like I'm still trying to, earn the right to say that I'm part of such a great baseball program. So I think more than anything, the way that things have gone on for so many years, and Kevin has certainly been able to, like as you mentioned, learn from a guy like Gary Gilmore. They have success in year one. He's able to do a lot of things that a rookie head coach has never been able to do. Well, what happens naturally? Anytime a head coach opening pops up, your name is going to be attached to it. And we see it. I mean, look what's going on right now in college football this season. There's so many openings. And how many times have we seen throughout the last couple of weeks, coaches have to say, well, I'm flattered and this and that. And I get it. I understand. And I think a lot of us, we're not going to have to be stupid. Right? I mean, we're not going to pretend that some of this isn't coach speak when you're listening to some of these coaches. Of course, some of it is. There's no question about it. A lot of us, we've heard. You're only able to say the same things over and over and over. But what I can tell you about Gilly is, this is somewhere he truly wants to be. And I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I mean, again, he's been here for 22 of the last 25 years. There's going to be programs that are interested in your coach when you're winning. If Coastal is able to have success the way that we believe that they can have it again this season, there's probably going to be other schools that are going to say, hey, look, that coach, or you're going to see the hot boards out there, the different websites saying, man, this could be but that's a good problem to have. That's a good problem to have at this level, even though I get it, Chanticleer fans, Tail Nation, I'm sure over the weekend it scared you a little bit. I totally understand, but the bottom line is, 9 is still here. 9's fired up. 9's been tweeting and texting us in our group chat that we have for baseball. And what I can tell you is he's fired up. He's fired up, and I'm very excited for my first season. I've never watched a ball game in that stadium. I'm excited. The new and improvements to the field turf, the drainage system. I mean, some people were saying right field, that's where all the water would go, kind of like Happy Gilmore's caddy, right? He's only has one shoe. Everything's good. No, this is all nice and smooth. The surface is going to be awesome. You're coming off, obviously, a tremendous run. And like I said, you have a coach who understands the importance of baseball at that university. And there's nothing more that Kevin Schnall wants to do than to get back to Omaha and be able to get the job done.
Yeah, my first adventure to Conway for baseball was one of the better ones in recent memory for many reasons. But one of them was because we got a couple million views on our bullpen video with Mr. Banana Man himself as the key feature, as he gave the Clemson pitcher warming up quite the hard time and made sure to ask the coach, "Coach, are you sure this is the guy?" I mean, it was just a classic line. I got lucky enough to catch it. But the thing that impressed me the most, too, was not just that the place was sold out. Clemson's going to bring a crowd, as well as the Coastal fans going to be there at home. It was the way the ballpark's set up in general. You don't see a whole lot of ballparks in college baseball where you can walk around the whole thing. You've got the beach chairs set out in the grass areas. A lot of people, what's funny, I also met Chance Miller. I just walked up to him, and the thing that you've said is very true. He wasn't just up in a box away from everybody else. He was down, walking around the outfield, talking to anybody who tried to stop him.
He'd rather do that.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he'd be okay with me saying this. Yes, when you're in a role, when you're the athletic director, you're going to see Chance wear a suit. He's the type of guy that wants to be around the fans. I mean, he's a big family man. He loves being around his kids and his wife Lauren. It feels weird seeing them grow up because I've known them for the last couple of years when they were over at South Carolina. He would rather be. I'm not saying he doesn't want to be with his family. Chance and Lauren would probably get a kick out when I say. But what I'm trying to get at is he would rather be with the fans, walking around. The guy that's having a beer, and just talk with that guy. Talk with the fans because that's just who he is. He's not one, and I think that's the reason why he's been able to have so much success wherever he's been to, is because, and no disrespect to some of the people that work in athletics, I've covered some from afar. I've seen from other universities, and I've seen it's not just South Carolina. I've seen it, and I think sometimes what happens is you kind of have these blinders up, and you start to lose sense of reality, or in terms of what, from a fan perspective, how a fan would like to see it. The thing about Chance, and I know that he's not the only AD that does this. So this is me, not just saying, okay, it's just, but Chance does a phenomenal job of understanding that he wants the fan experience to be as good as it can. And he also understands from a coaching standpoint and from a playing standpoint that you can only control so much, right? Right. You can go out there, and he said this in another interview. I think it was with the Snapback guys. I'm paraphrasing, but there's only so much that you can do each Saturday when you're trusting 18 and 22-year-old kids. And that could be for any school, right? I mean, that's not just Coastal. I mean, that's anywhere. So, you can put the things in place, and at the end of the day, they have to respond. He understands that. He's doing everything he can from an entertainment standpoint, from an atmosphere standpoint, so that when people go to these sporting events, that they feel like, and I think he's kind of joked with me in the past about this, and I hope I have this line right. But he wants people to go to a football game and say, wow, I feel like I just went to a rock concert, and there was they're playing some football in between there. That's what he wants. I mean, going to just see how he's been able to just learn different things from other places and bring it to a place like Coastal, where, again, one of the things that we got going on Thursday night, which I think is just going to go viral, and it's funny, I'm actually messaging someone from SportsCenter right now about this. We're trying to really get this thing going. Nice. This is what Chance and what we're trying to do in the team that he's been able to assemble as a whole at Coastal. We're trying to take it to the next level. And I think when you're at a place like a Group 5 school, I think that's what you have to do. I think that's what you have to do, because you got to find ways. And it's not kind of like, I wouldn't say gimmicky in the sense of like, okay, hey, you don't have to worry about what goes on the field. Certainly, I can tell you this. There is no one in that building. There's no one on the planet that I've met that wants to win more than Chance Miller. I can promise you that in any sport. He is someone, though, that wants to bring everything together. It's not just, okay, we're just going to worry about the winning. We're just going to worry about the no, he wants everything to be top notch. And if it's not, trust me, we all hear about it. But that's the beauty of working for a guy and at a place that wants to hold you to that standard. And that's also the fun part. And what's going to make a place, like Thursday night at Brooks Stadium, even that much more special.
Yeah. Well, I want to wrap all of that up into one final question. So this will include, Chance, all the stuff that you guys have built up and been working towards. That includes a really good home baseball schedule, but let's wrap it up with the one that everyone's going to be talking about, as the Savannah Bananas have announced they will be playing a game in Conway, South Carolina. It seems like the match made in heaven with what Coastal's trying to do, what the Savannah Bananas have done over the past several years of like winning over the fans on and off the field. So just tell us about your experience with dealing with the Bananas and getting them to come there, the excitement around that as well.
Yeah, so the one thing that I'm really bummed about is we're going to be down in Houston. We have a baseball, we have a little in-season tournament. We're going to be down in Houston, Texas, playing in the Astros Foundation College Classic. And that's going to be incredible because we're going to be
Yep.
playing. You mentioned the tough schedule. I mean, playing Texas one day, UTSA the next, Ole Miss. I mean, it's going to be phenomenal. But we're not going to be able to experience the bananas. We're not going to be able to experience. I should say, banana ball. Will be the party animals taking on the Loco Coconuts. That's the 5th and the newest team part of the Banana Ball League, and that's just been really cool to see grow over the last decade now. It feels like. But, you know, all jokes aside, I think it's just one of the other things that, again, mentioning Chance, he understands that he wants to be able to bring everything to wherever he's at. He was one of the big reasons why, even though he wasn't there when they played, he set it up. When Manchester United and Liverpool played at South Carolina, they had an exhibition. I think it was at the beginning of August. God bless those soccer players, those European soccer players coming over first week in August and have to learn about the Columbia, South Carolina heat. If they didn't use ice cubes and AC then, I don't know when they will. You know, I mean, if that doesn't change a man, I don't know what will. But no, he played a big part. But it's another example of the things that Chance, when he got this job and when we had conversations about, you know, bringing me along and kind of his vision, this was part of it. It's like, hey, look, we want to be able to compete and win conference championships, compete for national championships, and everything else in between when it comes to Coastal Carolina athletics. But we also want to be able to have fun events like this that can attract, you know, people from all over to not only have opportunities to be able to create memories from a family standpoint, but on top of that, be able to bring people onto our campus and be able to show them like, hey, look what we have going on over here. You know, I mean, like I told you, I had only been on campus once, and that was, you know, 9 years ago before I began this job a month and a half ago. On campus now, I'm just like, holy cow. I mean, it's unbelievable. And granted, TJ, you could probably remember. I mean, shoot, I've been eating over at Hicks. That's the dining hall. As for those of you that don't know, I mean, I keep listening to people say, you know, man, it didn't look like this. It didn't look. Now, I feel like we can all say this about our own colleges, right? You go back 10, 15 years ago. But the point being is the campus is gorgeous. There's certainly been a lot of facelifts in a lot of areas. It's a really neat place to be able to work. And certainly the weather isn't a bad thing. I know people are going to say it's starting to get cold. Trust me, this is not cold. After dealing with what I had to deal with being back in New England, as much as I love my roots, I will take 50 degrees and gloomy. I'll take that. Okay. Hooded sweatshirt. Oh, I mean, it's beautiful. It's beautiful weather.
Absolutely beautiful. You been getting over to Hicks for some fried chicken Friday?
I haven't. I've done two taco though. I've had two taco, but I haven't done that yet.
Go this Friday. What are you doing? It's all you can eat fried chicken.
I guess I didn't get the memo. Maybe they didn't want.
Come on,
the guy,
Friday for lunch, fried chicken Friday. No, I'm telling you,
TJ.
I'm letting you know. That's got to get over there. It's some of the best cornbread, first of all, that they make back there. But all you can eat fried chicken every single Friday.
I'll do that.
Get over to Hicks.
I'll do that.
Nice. If you really want to cheat the system, here's a pro tip: go over to the UP dining hall on Tuesday, and it's the same thing. I got all the tricks for you, Mike.
I like it. No, I'm tell you what, being able to be back down south, the biggest thing that I'm the most excited to be able to eat, and I think people who know me, they know this. Well, the reason why is Bojangles. I mean, the fact that I have it right down the street. Right down the street.
Mike,
TJ,
you're getting some great points with me tonight.
TJ, here. Usually, I am going to bring it up. You're going to ask me. I had a biscuit named after me at Bojangles a couple of years ago. It was a highlight of my life. It's like Al Bundy scoring 4 touchdowns in one game. Nothing will ever top that. So I will let you guys look that up. But yes, Bojangles, sweet tea. I'm very excited to be back down south. As much as, again, I'm a Boston guy. I love my time up there. Figures as soon as I leave after covering the Patriots, now they want to do good. So I mean, maybe I'm bad luck with them. I don't know, but it's been a blast being back in South Carolina, being back in the South, and certainly when it comes to football. With all due respect to the college football teams up north, it's just different. It's different in the South. It's just different, and it's something that, as a guy who played college ball, my dad's coached high school ball for over 40 years. I'm a football guy. God didn't give me the hype, but I'm a football guy, and certainly being able to be back down here, it's awesome. It's really special, and again, I'm excited for Thursday night because here's the crazy thing, and I told Beck this earlier this week. This will be just the second home game at Coastal in the last 47 days. Second home game. Think about that.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Hope Mother Nature cooperates with us this time.
Yeah, absolutely. And whether it does or not, the game will go on Thursday night, ESPN2, 7:30 kick. If you're there in the local area, don't watch it on TV. Get to the game because it sounds like it's going to be one heck of an atmosphere. I'm disappointed that I'm going to be missing it, as I said. But from myself, Dom, and TJ, Mike, we really appreciate everything that you've given us tonight. It was a great, fun interaction. I can't wait to meet you in person as I did with Chants last spring. So hopefully you get the chance to do that at least during baseball season, maybe during basketball season. Who knows? But good luck Thursday night. We'll all be watching and taking it in from Conway.
No, I appreciate it. And again, if people aren't familiar with what's been going on over at Coastal, whether it be my Twitter page, whether it be the Coastal athletic pages, follow along. I mean, it's not to say that how things were done a certain way, not just here, but just in general. I have so much respect for sports information directors, but we're starting to kind of change the mold, and that's kind of the vision that Chance has. And it's going to take some time, but we have a tremendous team that we're working with, and we're really grateful. And again, like I said, I'm just happy to be back down in the Southeast region. It's a real special place.
Absolutely. Well, thanks a lot, Mike. Appreciate it.